Welcome to Community Connections with Children's Services Council of St. Lucie County. I am just one of your humble hosts, Sean Boyle, and not with me today is my normal co-host, but graciously filling in, is Lorena from the United Way.
That's right. I'm very happy to be here and big shoes to fill.
I know. Well, we're going to get to you later, but just know that the bar is set very high.
I know.
I know you've got acting background.
Acting.
So the bar is definitely set high. But welcome to the show that's all about connecting you, the listeners, and the viewers to resources and things that are available to children and families in St. Lucie County. Now, if you happen to be watching us on WLX TV Horizon, the St. Lucie Public School channel, welcome. Once a month, thanks to a wonderful partnership, we come in and film the video version of the show. And if you're listening to us on radio, because it's a weekly radio program on 104.5 The Flame at 10 a.m., if you want to see what these faces look like, with a word of caution, look up WLX Horizon on your local cable provider, or do what I do, jump to YouTube, look up WLX Horizon St. Lucie. You can see all the wonderful offerings by the St. Lucie Public Schools local TV channel.
That was
Have you
wonderful.
looked it up before?
Yes, I have.
Did I look
so
it
go
up?
find myself that one time.
Oh, you did? When you were the guest, you're
Yes.
like, let me see what
I
I
was
look
like,
like?
let me finally watch this.
You know, fun fact, Ashley and I have been doing this show for, I'm going to say, close to 10 years. And we used to do it weekly at the radio station, and they used to come film us. So you can watch Ashley and I kind of
Gradually
grow up.
age.
And yet, somehow the media presence hasn't gotten any better after 9 years.
You're too hard on yourself.
But if you're wondering, why am I listening to this or watching us, us at the Children's Services Council, Ashley, myself, our board, the entire team, we focus on 5 priorities for our community. And those 5 priorities are, 1, making sure every baby's a healthy baby. 2, stopping child abuse before it happens. 3, keeping kids off the streets. 4, keeping them in school. And 5, keeping them off drugs, alcohol, and other risky behaviors. And we do that by funding and developing programs for all residents in St. Lucie County. And we spend this time educating you in a fun, somewhat entertaining way. I realize that's a subjective opinion. Entertaining way about those resources. And we have a great guest that we're going to get to here in a minute. But if you want to shortchange all that, if you're like Sean, Lorena, Ashley, who's home in bed, hopefully feeling better.
Yeah.
If you're like, I don't have time to listen to your little program every
Rude.
single week, rude, right? But you can simply go to our website, which is cscslc.org, and you can download our program guide, or we can one-up that. We will deliver these nice copies to your place of work, your place of business, your social group, and we'll even come and speak to your group if you'd like us to do that. All you got to do is call us at 408-1100. Again, 408-1100, and we'll be happy to connect you with the resource guide and even entertain your crowd if you want us to.
Of course.
Entertaining, again, another subjective term. Also, if you want to learn about what's going on at Children's Services Council, what's going on maybe this weekend, and what's going on for children and families, make sure that you follow us on the Book of Face, commonly known as Facebook. Just look up Children's Services Council. Make sure you put in the St. Lucie County, because there are 10 other ones, but we clearly are the best one.
The best.
You know, or if you want to know what's going on in the community, but you don't want to read words, we also have an Instagram page.
Oh, just pictures.
Just look up St. Lucie Children's Services Council or St. Lucie CSC. We usually post kind of more behind the scenes things on that social media platform.
I think I follow both.
Well done.
Yeah.
So because you follow both, and
Yes.
because you're kind enough to fill in,
Yes.
somewhat at the last minute, it's a whole big story. Not really the last minute. I'm actually Ashley's fill-in
Yeah,
for this show.
you are.
I wasn't supposed to
I
be
was
here.
meant to be here.
Yeah, she's the one that was locked in. Her and our guests were locked in. But you are at the United Way of St. Lucie County, and we have you have a great partnership with the St. Lucie Public School Systems, and you're doing the Community Partnership Schools. You are the Community Partnership School Director.
I'm so proud you did it.
At White City Elementary. So explain
That's
to
me.
our viewers and listeners what that's all about.
So without going too long, it's just basically we partner with community partners, it's in the name, to bring in whatever resources our kids, families, teachers, staff may need. And we like to say that we're just removing the barriers for our families and students so that they can have the success they deserve and have the potential. A lot of times it's no food at home, so we are providing a food pantry, clothing. We are working on mental health counseling for our kids and families. I work with some wonderful people. My family and community engagement coordinator has grown our family nights to 8 people showing up to over 100, and this brings in such, once you have that family invested, it really helps the dynamic of the child. And we have some expanded learning coordinator who is doing men in training, which is adorable. We love it. It's teaching our 4th and 5th grade boys about eating right, etiquette, and kind of our deputy does SWOT analysis with them, and they have to run around with the SWAT stuff on them and things like that. So it's kind of like a Girls on the Run from men. But being at the Community Partnership School at White City is my absolute honor. And we are just working hard on our kids and our families so that our community is the best that it can be.
And it's really a model program that really, you basically come in and you surround the school, the students, the teachers, and really everybody connected with that school with whatever they may need.
Yep.
And you utilize partners to make that all happen.
Yep, we always say if you ask us for something and we don't have it right in front of us, we'll make sure to get it, because if that's going to help, we'll do it.
And let's give a big shout out to White City Elementary, Lexi, and her
Yes.
whole team. We are partnering with Scott Van Duzer for the Read to Succeed, which is focusing on getting books into the homes of kids, which is one of our priorities, but also prioritizing reading. And White City Elementary has their Read to Succeed night, I believe, November 15th.
November 15th, which we're very excited for. Our principal, who will do anything and everything for our families, I believe is dressing up as a pizza. I have offered to wear a pepperoni onesie. We are really trying to get everyone out because, one, we want books in the hands of our kids, but we also want that community engagement as well. So we're really excited for that, and we're also, Lexi and I are very competitive. So we watch the stats of all the other schools, and we have our
The gauntlet's been laid. You ready to?
we have our goal of where we need to be.
Okay. So again, we big credit to Big Apple Pizza, both the one off Bayshore and the one in
Yes.
Fort Pierce, right across from the college. Scott Van Duzer, and we're very proud to be one of the partners to make that Read to Succeed initiative happen. And I think you and I, me, you, everybody in the studio, and the listeners and viewers just realized that you can get a pepperoni onesie.
There you
Who
go.
knew that? Who knew that?
You're welcome.
And very informative show. And so, you know it's the holidays, right? Because, you know, if you go into any department store, you know, they put all the way the Halloween decorations, and up come the Christmas trees, right? We don't even get through
Don't even get
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving.
before everything is Christmas. And we are also in that holiday spirit as well. So I'm proud to announce that our 12th annual Sounds of the Seasons concert, which is a free community concert for everybody in the community on Friday, December 15th at 7 p.m. at the historic Sunrise Theater, where 5 of our after-school programs that have an arts component will perform on the stage. We have the Future Generations Drumline, they're phenomenal. The Boys and Girls Club, and the Lindsay School of the Arts and Pace Center for Girls will all be performing. And we're hoping to get a full house.
I've never seen it not be a full
And the
house.
tickets are free, so just pick up your tickets at the Sunrise box office. We do ask, if you're able to bring a new or gently used children's book to the event, because we in turn give it out as part of our St. Lucie Reads effort. But imagine you are a youth, let's say you're 8 to 14 years old, and you're going to perform on the historic Sunrise, right? Which doesn't happen every day.
No.
And then imagine being in the crowd and that crowd giving you a standing ovation after your performance. That happens every show, and it's really just, it's like goosebump electricity
It is.
in that theater. And we highly encourage everybody to come again Friday, December 15th, 7 p.m. at the Sunrise Theater. Be sure to grab your tickets, and we're grateful for the partnership with the Sunrise Theater. Grab your tickets because they do go fast.
They do.
And if you want a ticket and you're gonna, the day of the show, there may not be tickets available. So make sure you go to the Sunrise Theater box office and grab your tickets. And what better way to show up at Thanksgiving and be like, hey, I got a great thing that we're gonna do for our family. We're all gonna enjoy a holiday concert and hand out those tickets.
But just tell them that you spent a bunch of money on
yeah,
it.
they don't have to know.
They
I
don't know
does it-
that it's free. Does it say free? No.
It does say general
Oh.
admission 0, but you could easily write a 2 next to it. And everybody,
then you'll be the best for the
Everybody would be like, wow.
Wow, they really spent
I like
a
the
lot.
way you think.
Thank you.
Good
I'm helping
job.
you out here.
All right, because it's the holidays, and our mission is to improve the quality of life for all children, and we know that some children have lots of resources and some children don't, and our resources are available to all. We thought, because we're getting ready to go into, we already talked about Christmas, but we don't want to forget about Thanksgiving and all that entails with families and food. So we thought, what better guest than the Treasure Coast Food Bank? And before we get to the food aspect of it, we work with this guest, Sherry Siegfried. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
We work with Sherry on a very important initiative, which is to make sure that children have access to health care. And that involves a whole lot of stuff. You may hear healthy kids, kid care. All you need to remember is this is the person you need to contact. So Sherry, talk to us about health insurance for children.
Yes, thank you guys so much. My name is Sherry Siegfried. I am the Director of Client Services for the Treasure Coast Food Bank. And we are a proud partner with Florida Kid Care, which is our state-based health insurance programs for kids and teens. So we work with Florida Kid Care to ensure that kids here in St. Lucie County and actually all over the Treasure Coast have health insurance so that they can see a doctor if needed, and we want to make sure that they're able to do so because that does also help reduce the amount of time that's spent out of school. So we definitely want our kids to have health insurance coverage.
And I know, Sherry, you have a son, and my kids are older, and someday soon,
One
possibly.
day, maybe. Like in the announcement. No.
I don't, sorry, I don't know what made me say that, but you know, kids get sick, kids break things, they're active. You know, we all think, oh, they can just run into a brick wall and bounce off. Sometimes they don't bounce off. Sometimes they bounce off and they come away with a broken arm or a leg. And, you know, you don't want your medical provider to be the emergency room, right? Long waits, you know, they kind of just triage. So we want every house that has children to have a medical home, a place where that kid, that youth or child can go for the immunizations, for their well checks. You know, anybody that has a child in school knows that they have to have a series of shots and immunizations. And a way to give yourself peace of mind is to have health insurance for your child. And any business owner out there probably knows, because every time I bring this up at a chamber event, every business owner has heard about Kid Care, Healthy Kids, because it's a great alternative for their employers, for their kids. Because, Sherry, tell us a little bit about you know, what it takes to qualify and how much, you know, because if I go to the doctor, if I'm relatively healthy all year, I have to pay the full cost of that doctor's appointment before I meet my deductible. But you got some good news on that front.
So with Florida Kid Care, the health insurance is wonderful coverage. Right now there is no deductible, no co-insurance. There's small co-pays when you go to see your regular doctor or a specialist. A lot of times it is a lot better coverage than what's offered by the employers. And families who are working can apply for Florida Kid Care coverage, even if one or both parents are working. And they will be put in whichever program that the child qualifies for. So Florida Kid Care is kind of like the umbrella name for all of the state-based health insurance programs. So we have Medicaid, which is what most families are aware of because that is normally the free program for kids birth through age 18. Then we have MediKids, which is for kids 1 through age 5, or I'm sorry, 1 through age 4. And then we have Florida Healthy Kids, which is for kids 5 through 18. And CMS Managed Care Plans for kids with disabilities, which is birth through age 18 for those families who qualify.
And I know that the application for Kid Care, the umbrella, right, and then the state kind of puts you in the right grouping, is online. But if anybody has any questions, or if they have struggling with the application, or maybe they applied and they're like, I haven't heard anything and I moved, they can contact you, right?
Yes, so there's a lot of different ways for families to apply. They can apply through the Florida Kid Care website, which is floridakidcare.org. They can call Florida Kid Care directly at 1-888-540-KIDS. Or you can contact one of the community partners like the Treasure Coast Food Bank. And if you need help applying, we are here to help. We have assisters in English, Spanish, and Creole, which are the 3 primary languages in our area. You can call our outreach center, your Plate Health and Wellness Center, at 772-464-9617.
And I'm going to put it out there, you know, I know that probably most people watching this show are people that maybe can't sleep at night. Teachers, educators, but you know, if you're, let's face it, health insurance can get expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have a deductible, like I'm on a family plan and my deductible I think is around $8,000. So that means I have to spend $8,000 before my insurance kicks in. That's a lot, right? So if you're, you know, if you are working for a small entity or you have insurance for yourself and your employer pays for it, but you don't know what to do with your children, this is even if you don't qualify financially to get the subsidized amount, if you have to pay full freight of the insurance, it's very, very, very competitive.
Yes, the full price plans are very competitive compared to what you would pay through your employer coverage. However, like I said, the back end coverage is fabulous. I don't only promote Florida Kid Care, my son has Florida Kid Care. And when he was very young at daycare, he decided one day he didn't want to take a nap and he was playing on his cot, stepped on it the wrong way, the cot bounced up and split open his chin. We ended up having, because of his age, having to go to the hospital because they would not stitch him up at any of the urgent cares. And I walked away without a bill, and it was fabulous.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, just that alone is the best testament
That
of
gives you
why
a sense of relief already.
Right, you need to go check out Kid Care or contact Sherry about those resources. And I'm going to brag on Sherry for a minute. This is probably, I'm going to say it was like 3 years ago, but it's probably longer than that because time is an abstract ever since 2020. But the state they hired a company to go and look at all the communities to find out what was an effective outreach for Kid Care. And I happen to know the researcher because we'd worked with them before. And he called me up and said, after I came to St. Lucie County, what I'm telling Kid Care and Healthy Kids is replicate what they're doing in St. Lucie County. Having somebody like Sherry that all the partners can contact, and Sherry's like, thanks Sean, now I'm gonna get all these calls. But one person that can contact and kind of like an expert in the community is the model that needs to be done. Yeah. And the more families that we can get connected to Sherry and more businesses or churches so that they can know that resources out there, the more kids that can have health insurance. We just did our annual update luncheon, and I believe 9% of the children in St. Lucie County do not have health insurance. And that is 9% too many. Now that's great, that's better than, I think it was 2006, it was 27 point something percent. So we're definitely moving in the right direction, and we want to keep going in that right direction. I think I mentioned this at the luncheon, in 2015 we were at 3%. We want to get back down to that 3%, and it all starts with contacting Sherry. Again, Sherry, give your number again.
And the number to our outreach center is 772-464-9617.
All right, so now we're going to pivot because obviously you can't talk about the Treasure Coast Food Bank and not talk about food, right?
I think so.
Are you hungry right now? I'm kind of hungry right now, right?
Hungry, yeah.
So this time, Sherry's going to prepare a meal for us.
Ooh, all right.
I'm kidding, but Sherry, you have, particularly around Thanksgiving, and a lot of families that have food insecurities, they don't know, where they're going to get food, and there's a lot of pressure and hype on a big Thanksgiving dinner. So even those families that are maybe struggling, but you have some help for them.
Yes, so through the Treasure Coast Food Bank for Thanksgiving, we do have our holiday meal assistance program, which helps provide families with groceries where they can make their own holiday meals. The easiest way to find out the closest location to get holiday food is just visit our website, stophunger.org/holiday help. Or you can call 211, our local resource call center, and ask for the closest food pantry or soup kitchen in your area, and they will let you know the dates and the times and locations where you can get holiday help assistance if you need it.
And we always say at the show, you may be listening to this and think, oh, all my kids are grown and they're not in the area, or my family's all good. But I promise you, when you run around in the community, whether it be your congregation or place of work or just hanging out with your friends, you're going to come across somebody that needs some assistance. And this is the best nonprofit website. I always mention best nonprofit website, because what's the United Way's website?
UWSLO.org.
UWSLO.org. Ours is CSCSLC.org. We love our acronyms in the nonprofit world.
do.
But the Treasure Coast Food Bank, stophunger.org.
Brilliant.
That's brilliant. So
Brilliant.
jump on that website. If you remember one thing from today, remember stophunger.org, because that's going to connect you to everything that the food bank does. But So they can go on there and they can find a place that's going to be giving out food?
Yes, they can like I said, they can go to our website, stophunger.org, to find local holiday meal assistance. If they need emergency assistance outside of the holidays, they can also go to our website, stophunger.org. There you can also find volunteer opportunities. We have volunteer opportunities throughout the Treasure Coast. Without our volunteers, I don't know what we would do, because we definitely value our volunteers at the Treasure Coast Food Bank, and they make up a large part of our distribution, and we're able to do what we're able to do with our volunteers. You can also find some more information about our SNAP education classes. So while I'm not preparing a meal today, our SNAP education team can actually teach you how to prepare meals, healthy meals, read food nutrition labels, and a lot more. So if you want to learn more about our SNAP Ed program or register for a class, you can visit our website, stophunger.org, to do that. We also have training opportunities through the Treasure Coast Food Bank for CDL, barista, culinary arts, and hospitality. So if you would like to get your certifications, you can also find out those programs on our website as well. Once again, stophunger.org.
Well done. Now you just took away all my notes that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to slow down a minute and dive into this. But first of all, are you excited for Thanksgiving?
I am excited for Thanksgiving.
What's your guys' favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Oh, okay. Well, the one that's always requested that I make for the holiday is my corn casserole, which
Okay.
I think you've had.
Okay.
Corn casserole, but my favorite, if I had to choose, would be my homemade green bean casserole. I know that's like not everyone's favorite, but
Sherry, what's your favorite?
My favorite is pumpkin pie.
yeah.
I like the sweets.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so that's the tough thing. On Thanksgiving, you got to be careful what you
Yes.
eat. But how much whipped cream do you put on that pumpkin pie? Do you like berry whipped cream? Because that's usually
There's
what I
usually
do.
a ratio you gotta have.
Is it a little bit, or are you like?
My son loves the whipped cream. I prefer it without the whipped cream.
Okay. Look, that's
And
the
can you-
healthier option.
Can you truly tell the difference between the sweet potato and the pumpkin?
I can,
So fun
but they're
story.
both tasty.
Just because Sherry went through all our talking points, and we'll come back to that. But fun story. So my thing, I like sweet potatoes a lot. And so one time we were at Thanksgiving dinner with my in-laws and all the family, and everyone was complimenting everybody on the dishes, and I complimented whoever made the sweet potatoes. And I got a kick underneath the table. I'm like, why are you kicking me? She's like, my wife, by the way, said, that's the only thing on this table that was store-bought. So I managed to insult everybody at Thanksgiving, and I continue to apologize for that. Have you heard that?
No.
Nothing like that?
No.
All right, so
I'm not embarrassed.
let's jump back to the nutrition classes, because we just talked about, Thanksgiving, there's a lot of food.
Yeah.
That's not the day to start counting calories. But when we talk about nutrition classes, what does that mean? Is that like, hey, how to whip up something really quick so you don't go through the McDonald's drive-through with your kids?
And where do they go? Like, is it at your location or?
The nutrition education classes are throughout the Treasure Coast. So they're at various locations. And you can find out, like I said, more information on our website, stophunger.org. But they do teach, food labels, healthy eating, how to eat on a budget, how to eat when you are out.
Eating on a budget, I bet that's
Yes.
a very popular class.
I feel like I have to take that.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely with prices going up these days,
Yeah.
eating healthy on a budget is very, very important. I know a lot of families are struggling with the cost of food, even more now that prices seem to have skyrocketed. I know personally, I'm paying twice what I used to pay for the same amount of groceries. So it definitely is something that families can utilize these days.
And anybody can sign up for that. They just go to stophunger.org and look up the classes?
Yes, they can go to our website, stophunger.org, and find classes that they're interested in. And a lot of times they do have on our social media as well. We are on all the major platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They can look up the Treasure Coast Food Bank, and a lot of times they will post the classes and locations, dates and times, and ways to register on our social media as well.
Have you ever been to stophunger.org? It's very
I have.
It's a very cool
Yes.
website. You can lay out, like, and particularly in the summer when they do the summer food distribution, you can find It's very
figured it
well
out.
organized. Kudos to whoever does your website.
And your volunteer stuff as well, I will say, just to add in, we at the White City Elementary had some of our fellow staff and teammates go there to help pack, I think it was like
Pack the house.
Pack the house. And they just couldn't stop raving about just how kind everyone was and how it just made them feel good. And I think that goes back to what you said about volunteers mean everything. Without them, what would we do? And I just think that you guys truly cultivated that too, to have those volunteers want to come and work with you and want to help the community. So definitely something really nice
And
to
that's,
do.
again, because you bring up a good point. You know, the success of the food bank is obviously the work that that team does on the board, but also you rely a lot on donations and community volunteers. And obviously during the holiday season, a lot of people are thinking, you know, let's help a
How can I
family out,
help?
how
Yeah.
I can help. But that even extends all year round, because food insecurity doesn't just stop at the holidays.
Right.
Yeah, and for every dollar donated to the Treasure Coast Food Bank, we're able to provide 8 meals to families in need here on the Treasure Coast. So we have a lot of buying power, which is wonderful. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that through our website, stophunger.org. We are also accepting frozen turkeys and other meal preparation for Thanksgiving at our administration building, 401 Engle Road, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
That's great.
Bring a frozen turkey on over.
Yeah. So real quick before we go and wrap it up, you mentioned job training. So go through, you said it so fast and I was just like.
I read barista and I
That's
was
what-
like, all right.
I was like, stop, we got to hear more about the barista.
Yeah.
All right, so remind us again what job trainings you guys are doing?
Sorry, I get a little nervous.
No, it's all
You're
good.
good.
But we do have job training programs for culinary arts, barista, hospitality, and CDL certifications through the Treasure Coast Food Banks.
That's amazing.
Right, the CDL alone, right?
Yeah.
You could, that's,
And I'm sure you have a lot of success stories already coming out from that for people going into new jobs, right?
Oh, I'm sure. We have wonderful staff who are heads over those programs. And I know our CDL program at one point recently had 100% success rate for those people
Wow.
who
That's
were
amazing.
taking
That
that
is
class.
amazing. I just got goosebumps.
And Jimmy, who is our instructor for our CDL program, is doing a really, really great job with those trainees.
so the barista class.
So we can go take that.
Yeah, because then maybe I could make
Then we can
myself
stop
a
going to
decent cup of
Starbucks.
coffee.
We can stop going and do our own thing at home.
Well, Sherry, thank you so much for coming on. As always, great and really just a community champion. And you know,
Yeah.
we've known Sherry for a long time.
Oh, I love Mary.
She's just awesome. And again,
Thank you so much.
stophunger.org. They're there to take care of food needs, health insurance, SNAP benefits, cooking, job training. I'm not sure what else they can do, but that's a lot.
That's-
Make sure you check
those
out their
5
website.
priorities right there for
Yeah,
you.
make sure you check out their website again, stophunger.org. Lorena,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much for
Oh,
coming on, filling in.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Should we go? You're welcome.
I'm going to remind everybody about our concert. I'm going to end with it again because we want a full house there. Remember, Friday, December 15th at the Sunrise Theater. Pick up your free tickets for our Sounds of the Season, 12th annual Sounds of the Season.
That's crazy.
I'm still working on getting Ashley to perform or sing. You'll duet with her?
I will. I'll do an interpretive dance while she sings.
There we go. Just come grab your tickets again at the Sunrise Theater box office. We're grateful for every view and listen. A reminder that it's a weekly radio program every Sunday on 104.5 The Flame at 10 a.m., a monthly television show thanks to our partnership with WLX Horizon St. Lucie Public Schools. And if you miss all that, do not fret, do not fear. Just pull up your podcast app on your phone, look up Community Connections with Children's Services Council, and through the magic of the interwebs, it'll be there. A reminder that we're grateful for every listen again, and that it's our children, our community, our future. Now more than ever, folks, we're all in this together. We'll see you next time.